Hello viewers, I hope you are all doing well. In this video, we are going to review a very popular VPN called Hotspot Shield. As you can see, there is a 7-day free trial option available here. You can try out this 7-day free trial to see if it works for your needs. For this video, I am using the 7-day free trial. Here you can see their pricing plans. This is the yearly subscription plan, and this is the monthly subscription plan, which is $12.99 per month. If we switch to the yearly plan, it's $7.59. There are some differences between them, and the features and benefits are listed on the left side under the platforms. Explaining everything would make the video quite long, so let's keep it brief. If we log into My Account, you can see my account name is displayed here. It also shows the Pango apps for the subscription I've taken. Now if we go into Hotspot Shield, we can see how many devices can be used. We can use up to 10 devices. It also shows how much time is left and which device logged in at what time. If you want, you can even unlink a device from here. Below this, there is a help option, and then you'll find the download option. As you can see, it is compatible with products like Windows, macOS, iOS, Android, Android TV, and Fire TV. Since I will be reviewing the Windows version and showing you the installation, I'm downloading the Windows application. You can see it's a 38 megabyte file. I've started the download. It's almost finished. It's a very small file. Now we will go ahead and install it. The installation has started. Click Install. An optional offer has appeared. I'm going to decline it. If you need it, you can accept the optional offer, but I've chosen to decline. I'll pause the video for a moment while it installs to keep this video short. Our installation is now complete. As you can see, it has popped up and the launching process has started. From here, you can see that our VPN is now active. If we go into Settings and go to Accounts, you'll see my account is already connected. This is because I logged into my account on the website before downloading the application, so it was downloaded with my credentials included. If we go to Account Info, we can see more details about the account. As you can see, the account I've activated is full-featured, even though it's a trial. The billing period is set to yearly. If I don't cancel it, even though it's currently a trial, it remains full-featured. My billing date is April 14th. If I cancel it before then, it will be canceled. Otherwise, it stays active with full features. So if I now go to the application and select the Home option, you can see the Connect to VPN button, the virtual location, and the amount of data I have used. Next, you can see that I can test the internet speed from here. Let's perform an internet speed test without the VPN to see what kind of speed I am currently getting. It's showing around 120 Mbps, though I know my actual internet speed should be higher than that. I've noticed that when using VPN applications, they often show a slightly lower speed than the actual one. So the download is showing 109 Mbps and the upload is showing around 119 Mbps. Then we have the account status, followed by the product tour, then help and support, and finally the settings. This is the most important part. Under General Settings, we have Start on Launch. I don't need that. Next is Start Minimized. I don't need that either. I'll manually connect and minimize it. In your case, you can try using these options. I also don't need Auto Connect, notifications, or connection quality feedback. Under VPN Special Features, there are some details you can check out, such as Hide IP, DNS leak protection, Tor over VPN, traffic protection, DNS filtering, PKI encryption, and traffic obfuscation. Moving on, you will find many language options here. You can select your preferred language from this list as per your needs. Next is split tunneling, which is a very popular feature found in many VPNs. Here you will see Bypass VPN. If you want to bypass the VPN for certain apps, you can select them here. The applications are loading, you can add them to the bypass list, or you can choose to use only those specific apps under the VPN. I'm turning this off. Then there is Route via VPN. If you use this, only the selected application will use the VPN. You can add and use specific URLs here to route them through the VPN. In the protocol section, you can see that the automatic option is the best to use. However, there are 3 other options: Hydra, IKE Key V2, and WireGuard. I believe many people are now switching to WireGuard because it is considered the best for VPNs, offering a great balance of speed and security. Next, in the advanced section, we have the kill switch. As you all know, the kill switch is used for data protection. Then we have prevent IP leak and local network. Enabling local network allows you to access devices like NAS or network printers on your local network. You can also enable prevent IP address detection while connected if needed. Finally, there is Auto Protect, which automatically runs Hotspot Shield when connected to a public Wi-Fi. This is useful if you are a traveler and connect to public Wi-Fi. And here you can see the available shortcuts. You can use these shortcuts as well. Now, let's use the VPN directly to see how effective it is. You can see Hotspot Shield Premium written at the top. In the virtual location section, Auto is the first option. I'll try to connect using Auto, but it's not connecting. So let's try to connect through streaming. Oh, I see. The auto connection probably starts when I click here. My mistake. Let's connect using the Auto option and see what kind of feedback we get. The video is already getting long. Now you can see the VPN's monitoring status. It looks very nice. It shows where I'm connecting with a blue blinking light on the map. It also shows the data usage, peak speed, server information, load, latency, and Ethernet connection details. I'll move this to the side and resize the window for a better view so you can understand it more clearly. Now I will open the Task Manager to show you the status there. This will make it easier for you to understand. I've gone to the Ethernet section here. You can see the Hotspot Shield path. Now we are at Hooer.net. Let's see what kind of speed and quality we're getting here. It's asking for a security verification. While that's processing, let's head over to Speed Test. Once the verification is complete, we can check the quality of these IPs. We'll look at the anonymity level and see if the location is being shown accurately. These are the standard things we check in all our VPN reviews. So we can see the ISP is M247 Europe, which is a very popular ISP that almost all VPNs use to provide virtual IPs. The DNS is showing as Los Angeles, United States. Okay, now if we go to speedtest.net, we know that these ISP IPs are generally quite good and usually offer decent speeds. It's currently in the connecting phase. Even with the optimum location selected, the ping is quite high. I didn't expect it to be this high. I thought it would be much lower, since the best location was supposed to be selected. As you can see, the speed is nearing 100 Mbps. It has actually crossed 100, but sadly the latency is very high. Such high latency isn't ideal, especially for those who play games. Now let's look at our upload speed. I have also provided a LAN monitor at the bottom right to show you the local bandwidth for comparison. Here you can see our peak speed reached 104 to 108 Mbps. Let's go back to the home screen. From here, let's change the location. Let's try connecting to a server optimized for streaming. Let's see how the speed test results turn out for the streaming IPs. Let's check Hooer again. You can see the IP premium details here. The load is at 40%. The app also shows the latency and connection time. It even shows the connection method. The anonymity level is at 90%. Now let's run a speed test on this. We previously saw that the latency was quite high, around 236. Now let's see if the actual latency is 236 or even higher. You can monitor the server information here. It's showing almost double what was stated earlier. Our peak speed reached 54, but we're getting a stable speed of 77. Compared to other VPNs, the speed here is lower. Now let's check the upload speed. Keep an eye on the LAN monitor on the bottom right. It's reaching about 34, but the stable speed is around 30. It really should have been better, because streaming requires higher bandwidth. Now let's look at the locations. The locations are shown as thumbnails here. For the United States, there are 28 locations, and for the United Kingdom, there are 5. Let's try the UK. There is a separate option for gaming here. Since it's optimized for gaming, I hope the latency will be much better. However, we can see the latency is quite high on this one as well. Let's check Hooer again. The IP is from Canary Wharf, United Kingdom, but the ISP is still M247 Europe. Since it's the same ISP, I expect the speed test results and latency to be similar. The IP has changed, so let's start the speed test. The load is at 48%. I'm honestly a bit disappointed because I didn't expect such low speeds from a top-tier premium service. It's struggling to even reach 100. On the local LAN, it reached 110, but the stable speed here is around 77. Now let's test the upload speed. It's also struggling to climb and is peaking around 40. On the LAN, we're seeing about 34 or 32. The connection time is 1 minute. Now let's check one more IP. Let's scroll down and try the Bangladesh location. Since I am using a Bangladeshi ISP, I want to see how the Bangladesh server performs. I tried connecting twice and it failed, but on the third attempt it connected. The load is around 30% and the latency is relatively low.
Now let's see the condition of the Bangladesh IP. As you can see, the anonymity level here is quite low, showing only 70%. It is being connected through the same M247 Europe ISP. Let's initiate the speed test. It's connecting now. We can see that the latency is quite high. As you can see, the latency is super high. They are claiming a latency of 133 to 255, but it doesn't seem to be performing that way. The actual latency is much higher. I am sharing this because I want to show you exactly what I am personally experiencing. Their software monitor is showing up to 180 Mbps, while we are getting around 178. A bit of fluctuation like this is normal and can be accepted. Since the video is getting quite long, we will try 2 or 3 more locations before reaching a conclusion. Let's try Kazakhstan and see how it performs. We'll target countries that aren't commonly used, which should theoretically have a lower load. However, as we can see, the load here is actually high, around 48%. Let's check the anonymity level for this one as well. It is also poor, showing only 70%, which is not acceptable for professional work. Okay, let's run a speed test for Kazakhstan to see what kind of speed we get. It's in the process of connecting. It's connected to an ISP called Juan Mobile Almaty. The latency is around 378 milliseconds and the speed is relatively low. Among all the top-tier VPNs I have reviewed so far, I feel that Hotspot Shield provides the lowest speeds. Many others easily reach speeds of 300, 400 or even 500 Mbps. If I were to mention the drawbacks, there's no option to use socks separately, no dedicated router configuration, no open VPN connection option, no separate configuration for WireGuard. I have noticed that most top-notch VPNs usually provide these types of options, so I would suggest keeping these points in mind. Now let's try to connect to a location in China. We have reviewed several other VPNs on our channel step by step. If you watch them, you'll see that many offer various features and connection methods. Here those options are limited. This one is also through M247 Europe. So far, every connection we've tested has been through M247. This is completely a virtual data center-based VPN. I have my doubts about how worthwhile this really is. For those of you who are using it, please let us know in the comments how much you are benefiting from it and how convenient it is for you. We are leaving that judgment to you, so definitely let us know your thoughts. Also, let us know in the comments which VPN you would like us to review next. Here, the speed reached 110 Mbps, but I still haven't seen low latency. It remains the same. Even though it shows as lower here, I am experiencing high latency. The load is over 50% for almost every country. The situation in China is also average. Now, for the final location of this VPN review, let's try to connect to the United Arab Emirates. Once again, we see a moderate anonymity level of 70%. Now let's run a speed test to see its condition. We are getting slightly lower latency here, but we are disappointed with the results. As you can see, it's connecting. Even though the latency is a bit lower here, we are not satisfied. On my LAN, it's showing a lot of fluctuation. It goes up to 100 and then drops to 31. This IP is fluctuating heavily. It seems to have stabilized around 38 Mbps. Regarding the upload and download speeds, I'd say the results aren't great. While the speed was somewhat stable in the medium range, considering the price, there are much better deals available online. You can find them by researching our other videos. In the future, we might try a VPN to VPN comparison. Until then, stay with us by subscribing to our channel for more helpful information. That's all for today. Goodbye, Allah Hafiz, Tata.